We're Designing Spaces, the show that's all about you and your space, your home and surroundings. I'm Debbie Murray.
Yes, she is, and I'm David Jones. As you can see, we're going high-tech again with some digital ideas that make your spaces cutting edge.
Yeah, and not to mention convenient. Home security, ultimate home theater systems, and weatherproof TVs. You really want to see this.
Wow, how do you know all that stuff?
Look.
Oh, there it is. I thought she was texting.
Well, that too. So stick around and see it all right here on Designing Spaces. If we're going to look at new technology for the home, how could we not think of a home theater?
Absolutely. With large, wide HD screens readily available, the question of audio comes up next. The thought of those big speakers eating up all the floor space and running all those wires and cables.
Right? You know, it sounds like something for a DIY project.
That used to be the case, but not anymore. Some innovative audio engineering has changed the picture, or should I say, the sound. Here's Yvonne Perry with the story.
The idea of a home theater sounds like a good one, but the idea of setting it up and operating it can be a bit intimidating. Designing Spaces visited Bose Corporation in Framingham, Massachusetts, one of the major innovators in audio design, to see the Bose VideoWave II entertainment system. We met up with Peter Ogley, Bose product manager, to take a first look at this breakthrough technology. So, Peter, you've brought me into this anechoic chamber, and I have to tell you, it feels a little weird.
It is weird, and it's not just because you're stood next to me, I hope. This is a strange place. This is like nothing you'll have ever seen before. So an anechoic chamber is designed to absorb all sound reflections, which may not seem that weird until you realise that almost 89% of everything you ever hear during the day is reflected off walls, ceilings, floors.
And it stops that, no reflected sound.
Completely stops. These little wedges you can see kind of suck in the sound, and they're actually made of very acoustic material, so it completely gets rid of all those reflections. This is purely used for testing. So we like to test exactly how our speakers will behave. So once we know that, we know how the speaker could perform, and then we take that into normal rooms with furniture and different shapes and sizes and actually understand how it performs in what would normally be a real customer's home.
Now, you told me you were going to take me to a testing space that was going to simulate a real living room. Peter, I don't know what your living room looks like, but mine does not look like this.
So this is what we call our reference room. So we deliberately put the furniture on the wall so nothing can be moved. We want to use this room to actually make sure we measure everything exactly the same today as we measured it even 20 years ago.
Wow, really amazing. But scary.
But scary, yeah.
The latest innovation that Bose has is called the VideoWave II entertainment system. What was the inspiration behind a system like that?
And many people realise to get home theatre you need 5 speakers and often a separate module to reproduce the bass as well. And people may have heard that called 5.1 before. And to get that, you typically need large loudspeakers in the room to do it. But even though people want the experience, they don't really want the clutter and the hassle that goes to.
Right.
So for years, Bose has been trying to make speakers smaller to really make it much easier. In fact, you know, our smallest speaker is actually this small, so it's incredibly small still. But customers said to us, can't you actually make them disappear? And that was the inspiration behind VideoWave.
Now, how does this improve the home theater experience?
Well, instead of me telling you, why don't we show you? And I've got a demonstration ready for you.
Okay, let's see.
And we find that at Bose, if you can really reproduce home theatre well, you can completely get lost into the space you're actually watching. You get lost in the movie or the TV show that you're watching.
That was amazing. It sounded like there were speakers all around me. I think I got bit by a mosquito.
Yeah, you may have done. Every single sound you heard during that whole demonstration was actually coming from the screen itself. So the beauty is now you don't need to wire 5 speakers in the room. You don't need to put any speakers out at all. You don't have to worry about how to run the cables to those speakers. All the sound is coming from the actual screen itself.
It's
so the same space you'd give for your screen is now also your home theatre system and your music system built into that one unit.
It's incredible to think that that's all coming out of that screen. How did you guys do that?
Well, we've actually got a cutaway model. I can show you behind the scenes if you like.
Yeah, let's go take a look at it.
It's this way.
Okay.
So as you can see here, we've actually taken out the back of the system. Of course, you'd never do this at home, but our engineers have kindly made a model for us so I can show you exactly what goes on. So the first thing is, when you heard that crickets demo, for instance, it sounded like the crickets were really surrounding you, that high frequency was really surrounding you. Well, that was thanks to a technology called phase guide technology. So you can see this one here. So this is actually where the speaker is, and the high frequency sound is being sent along this port here to exit. So it gives us the opportunity of really surrounding the customer with sound. And then that actually then works also with our mid-range drivers to give you the kind of mid-tones, so things like a piano tone, for instance, all comes through. There's actually 7 of these drivers in the top.
They look like little speakers.
Exactly, little speakers, and there's another little speaker at the bottom. And that really works very well with the phase guide technology to create sound where there are actual no speakers, as you experienced. And then the final part really is how we reproduce that bass. And we actually use this device here. So this big tube here is actually called a waveguide. And it's, again, another technology by Bose. And then the sound drives or travels through this tube here. And when it exits, you hear all that wonderful low tones.
It was amazing how it sounded like you had a big bass woofer in the corner.
Exactly, you've got it. So now, because we can get the whole 16 speaker system in here, you never need to have another speaker in your room, and you never have to run a wire to that speaker in the room. It's just all inbuilt.
Now, how do you get one of these installed in your home?
That's good you should ask, because I've got a friend actually having an installation today, so I can show you exactly how the installation works if you like.
Great, let's go take a look.
Okay, let's go.
Hey. Hello.
Hey, Santi. Hey, this is Yvonne.
Hey,
Yvonne. This is Santi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Santi, tell me what we're doing here.
Sure. So we're just finishing up the installation of the VideoWave system, and the system actually turns into a universal remote, so it'll take over all of the other remotes that you have.
Okay, so that's part of the setup you're doing.
Exactly.
Is this an additional cost after the price of the system?
It's not. This is all included in the price of the VideoWave system.
So someone from Bose will come and take care of all this hookup for you?
That's right.
Okay.
All right, and now we know that it's all set. The other great thing about this remote is that this touchpad here, as soon as you put your thumb on it, the controls that are specific to that console come up, or to the Blu-ray player.
And you just drag your thumb across it like a touch phone, and it...
Exactly. And you hit play, and then remove your thumb, and here it is in full screen.
That is a beautiful picture, too.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
Yes.
Full 1080p LED display, some of the latest technology in there.
So this picture is beautiful, but earlier today, Peter showed me the VideoWave II system in Bose headquarters. How do I make sure I can get the same kind of sound that I heard there?
Sure. Well, that's actually where Adapt IQ comes in.
So Adapt IQ is an audio calibration system. Every single room is very different. So you may have one room that's completely made of glass, which would sound very bright. We may have another room that's got lots of heavy furnishings like soft drapes and thick carpet, which would typically sound very dull. So Adapt IQ will completely calibrate the system to your room, and the VideoWave system will always sound great.
We used to have a home theater system before. This sound is as good or even better than that. Number 2, and this is important to me, there's no clutter. Before, we had the subwoofer in the corner, we had speakers, we had components, we had wires. We don't have any of that now. It's a very clean and simple look. And number 3, it's easy. I can use it, my 6-year-old daughter can use it. It's just very simple to use with that single remote.
Now, if I wanted to get a VideoWave system for my own home, how would I go about buying one?
We have a number of stores all around the country, and if you go to Bose.com and look at the store locator, you can find your local Bose retailer and go in and get a great demonstration.
Peter, thank you so much for sharing with us some of the latest innovations at Bose.
You're very welcome.
And we have a link on our website, designingspaces.tv, where you can learn more about today's show by just clicking on the video. And a special thanks to Mitzi for allowing us to shoot in her home today as she set up her home entertainment system. For Designing Spaces in Framingham, Massachusetts, I'm Yvonne Perry.
So what is that, our Facebook page for the show?
Yeah, I was just updating the status.
She's so high-tech. Do me a favor. The status should be, we are out of time. Because we are. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time for Designing Spaces. I'm David Jones.
And I'm Debbie Marie. Bye-bye. You can visit these websites to learn more about the participants on this edition of Designing Spaces.